Studies report that those who volunteer feel happier and more fulfilled more often than those who do not. The best part about volunteering with Council on Aging is that many of our activities actually fit nicely into your current hobbies or interests, from marketing and handiwork to companionship and games. Let's talk to two volunteers, Bertha Reed and Anthony Mitchem. Thank you both for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Anthony, how did you first hear about volunteering?
Originally, I heard about the program back in 2010 with some of my coworkers were involved in it, and I found it interesting, so I asked them, what they did and what was involved in the whole process, and they told me they went about once a week to go and deliver meals to the elderly in the local community, and they told me that they had very good interactions with them. They said that they weren't particularly long necessarily, however, the time that they spent with them, they enjoyed it thoroughly, and they found it very rewarding to be giving back to their community. So from there, I kept it in the back of my mind at that point. I hadn't volunteered back in 2010. I was already involved with some other community relation projects, but I just kept it focusing back there, and I knew that when the opportunity arose, I'd take up the opportunity. And that's originally how I heard about the program.
Great. Well, we're so glad that you did. Now, Bertha, I understand that you've been involved with Council on Aging for a while. What do you love about volunteering?
I think what I like most about volunteering is interacting with the participants, because these are individuals who otherwise might be by themselves or not have any stimulation from anyone else during the day. So I just enjoy their energy of getting out and being with other persons.
Okay, great. Now, I know that some people may be a little hesitant to volunteer because they're, unsure if they're able to do it, the time commitment, etc. Anthony, what was the onboarding process like?
Specifically, just getting involved into the system took roughly around a month itself from start to finish, but the actual sit-down process with them was probably about an hour, filling out paperwork, and there was a quick introduction video that we watched, and it was very quick and seamless. They made it very easy to set yourself up, and there was a good question and answer time in case I had anything, which everything was pretty straightforward and laid out. So they do a good job of setting you up for success and making you feel comfortable with the process prior to even starting.
Good. Bertha, what do you do for Council on Aging?
I mainly go to the various meal sites and where the seniors gather for activities and everything. And so what we try to do is plan new activities in addition to their daily activities. We try to go, for instance, yesterday we were up in Central and we were making pot flowers and all little things, and they just really enjoy working the crafts. So usually I do the crafts. I assist with the crafts.
That's great. Our senior dining sites are so important because
yes.
in addition to getting a meal, that socialization and that mental stimulation is vital. Anthony, what do you enjoy about volunteering? What do you get out of it?
I feel like I'm giving back to the community. When you look at a lot of the people that you deliver to, a lot of them, you can tell that they're having issues getting around, and so I know based on the wheelchairs that I see and the interactions of them coming to the door, I know that they have issues moving around. So that makes me concerned about their eating habits and how well they're able to eat. Can they stand in front of a stove and cook the food and prepare a good quality meal for themselves? So I know that at least from the time that I get there and give them those meals, I know that they're getting a quality meal and nutritious, and they're being provided for. And it's important to look out for the people in our community. I know that they gave when they were younger, and it's important to give back to them.
Yeah. April is actually National Volunteer Month, where we try to, highlight and feature our volunteers and get more people on board with the process. Bertha, how do you feel after a day of giving back?
After I volunteer, it really makes me feel good, because we come in contact with individuals, like I say, who for no reason of their own are isolated, because the children sometimes live one place. They don't have families nearby. And so the only stimulation they get is from coming to the center and being with other seniors. And so just listening to their stories and listening a lot of time. By the time I get home, I feel really good, because I try to interject something positive into things that are going on in their lives.
That's fantastic. Now, Anthony, I heard that you're actually active in a recruitment effort of sorts
That's
to get
correct.
more people on board with
Yes.
Meals on Wheels. Tell me about that.
That's correct. On the 24th, we have, I've got 30 coworkers that are interested in the program. So that's not to say that they'll all be active at the same time. However, they're all interested in the program and intend on signing up. And they'll out of those, there'll be a rotating basis of probably about 3 or 4 of them per week that'll be involved in the program. So we're starting off small and making sure that we can, everyone can handle that workload, and then we'll build up from there. But I'm excited to know that we'll get a couple more routes open and help some more people out.
Yeah, the more volunteers that we have for Meals on Wheels, for the senior dining sites, even for the senior companion and foster grandparent programs like we talked about last segment, the more people in our area that we can help, the more clients we can help fulfill. Thank you both so much for coming on.
pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Our
much for all you
pleasure.
do for the community.
Thank you.
Our pleasure.